music to a much higher performance level.
Right.
Than you can if you just like, oh, we have a gig next month.
Right.
we're gonna get ready for it, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it's not enough. Now but even in Los Angeles, during the development period of a couple of my bands, I was able to find a venue that I could play once a week, and even that is is significant. And what I was so surprised when I came to Tokyo, there's no place where you can play once a week.
Absolutely.
There isn't anywhere. I don't know anywhere you could play, a band could play once every week on the same night. I mean, and even in New York, like that once a week, Monday night at the Village Vanguard, Thad Jones, big band. You could count on it. That was a significant point into for the development of that band.
Oh, yeah.
So the difference between now and then is this aspect of it's so hard to develop bands now because the bands cannot work enough,
right,
to perform enough to develop a unified concept, unless you have some other means of commercial support. And then you could at least rehearse or record and yeah, and then the other aspect is the recording business, the record company business which traditionally supported bands and invested and recorded bands.
Yeah.
So
Right.
these elements are changed, and so the promotion of jazz has significantly withered over the last 25 years or so. So I wish I could.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could snap my fingers, wave a magic wand, ask the sorcerer to.
Oh no, I've been.
To spread the jazz interest all over the general population.
Oh no, but I've been thinking the definition of course jazz is alive, so it changes and it goes on and on and on. But still, that definition are getting looser and looser. So I was thinking if you could kind of shape your not the definition, but your shape of jazz by pointing one song or something that relates to you the closest, and trying to find out how it looks like.
Well, a couple brings a couple of things to mind. When let me see. Let's say that when I was listening, as I go back to younger days and listening to jazz that inspired me, the one very significant point was when I would go hear a jazz performance, there was always something that was exciting. There was an excitement about it, not just in the music, but the environment, the place, the people. There was an element of excitement, like you are going to hear something that's brand new, and this is right. All new, and most times the performance would deliver that, and even when I'm not saying exciting and high, loud, and fast, but exciting overall. There would be, of course, there was those pieces which were just like cooking. Like you couldn't believe, and you're just like, wow, I got to go practice. I want to learn how to do that, and so this was for many of us. That was those kind of things, moments where the inspiration, where we could hear especially we were at the age where we could hear some of the originators of the music who were still living and playing. And the originators of the at least the modern styles. Now, and the other thing is that the one thing in common about a lot of this music that was so exciting is because of the newness of it. the newness. And I just was reading an interview, and I think it was Downbeat, maybe the one that was talking about Monk just recently, and it was just reminding me of one thing that what the originators of the music, always the advice they gave to younger players then, and it's still as good now, is play your own music.
Oh.
Play your own music. In other words, meaning original music, because that's the music of you of this time. And that's the only music which is going to have a chance to be really exciting for that time. So, of course, this runs counter to most concepts in jazz in Japan, where not lately. Lately, there's more people breaking away from those chains.
Yeah,
but when I came here, and I've been here 22 years. When I came here in '89, it was still the dominant force. Do I know the song?
Right.
Why aren't you doing songs I know? And so my answer to that is, well, here's a book. Did you read this book? Oh, you read it. You want to read it again? Go ahead, read it again. Okay. You want to still read it again? Read it a third time, fourth time. That's like, for me, that's like playing music, the same music over and over again. Right. But so of course I had to deal with that when I came here. But there was one route, for me that worked, and I was going to play. Okay, if I'm going to play the music that's been performed before, I'll play the music that inspired me at the beginning. So I played a repertoire from Art Farmer and Benny Golson Jazz Tet, the Cannonball Adderley Group. I played a repertoire from Art Blakey's group, and of course Miles Davis. I played all those the pieces that I really felt excited about, and I just tried to do them again. Now the thing is, even though some of the more abstract is now what some of the people wanted to hear, because there's a lot of people who are just locked into the 1950s jazz, and they haven't moved out of it. Okay. And that is perhaps unique to Japan, in that I talked to somebody about this, that Japan has imported many art forms over the years, like way before jazz, and one very astute person, an American journalist, who knew history very well, woman Jean Pierce, I think it was. I think I'll have to check that name, but she's moved back to the States since then. And I think she used to have a column for the Japan Times. But one time there was this famous ethnomusicologist, William Malm, who gave a talk. He's at the university, maybe perhaps retired now, a Japanologist, so to speak, for ethnomusicology, and he gave a talk. And so I went, I met him, and there was a little luncheon afterwards, and I was talking with that, and I couldn't figure, well, these people, the Japanese jazz fan, they want to hear all of me. They want to hear Perdido. They want to hear, music from, pretty much the late 1940s. He says, well, it's not only in jazz, but very frequently that if an art form or something is imported into Japan, it is frozen in time in the period of when it was imported. The concept of what it is a definition. And so well, you have to work around that. Obviously, I'm not going to, so time to time you have to work in that box. Right. So if you want to work.
Well, sure.
So that's okay. I learned from it, and I was fortunate, of course, to right after I got here to join the Sharps and Flats big band, the Harunobu's big band, and so that was also a strong insight into the way the Japanese music business, music scene was built and constructed.
Yeah, it seems like Japanese people got a different way to treat history, because
Yes.
As I hear what you talked,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like the history of all jazz musicians and an American jazz music is alive inside you, and you're creating new music used on the standpoint of that.
Yeah. So.
Grown, but Japanese people seems like not.
Yeah.
They cherish those histories.
The legacy, the cherish in the history is fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, but it's the stepping stone.
Right.
Where
yeah,
you build the concept of your own time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't escape. You can't choose when you're born,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't choose when you live.
Right.
So you have to do with that. So you have to make something from that.
Right.
You can't dial the clock back and pretend you're in a time machine living in another
Correct.
era.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and the advice of all the major jazz musicians, Sonny Rollins, Thelonious Monk, Miles, everyone says, play your own music.
Mm-hmm.
So on my first CD, that's what I do.
Right. All right. I feel like I heard so many good stories to make an article from. So, let's pause the